Hello Geminis, welcome to your July weekly tarot reading. So this is for July 6th to the 12th. Okay, so we have first two cards here. Okay, we have the High Priestess. Crossing it is the Justice card. So I'm going to try to pull out the other cards before I start talking because all these cards reinforce the same theme. And you know, pulling them all out at once is going to like provide a better picture. Okay, so in general, the High Priestess indicates like an unveiling process. Okay, this is a very good month for you all to rely on your intuition and rely on you know, in the process of like solving problems, you are going to have to arrive at the truth, okay? And sometimes the truths can be concrete, like evidence, you know, substantial evidence, or even like the words that people say, the things that come out of their mouth, and you're just like, okay, I know what you're about. But most of it is like intuitive knowledge, okay? Most of it is going to be arrived at through intuition. And trust your intuition for this week. I do feel that with the High Priestess central to this spread, there's something here that you're not aware of, and it can only be arrived at through intuition, all right? So crossing it here is the Justice card, and a lot of you might be in a situation where you are kind of like forced to, I guess, like speak out or speak about the truth or be, you know, asked about the truth in the court of law. A lot of you might have some legal proceedings, legal issues in the works, and we'll see how it's going to play out. Okay, so I'm going to pull out two more cards just because that's not a... Oh, okay. So the Moon. I have the Four of Cups, the Moon, and let's see what else. And the Three of Swords. Okay, so in general, a little bit problematic. So in the past position too, we have the Five of Wands, which is indicative of conflict, okay? So if this is a court situation, or if this is even like any type of an interpersonal relationship between you and another party, I do feel that you, once again, you know, the idea of arguing on technicalities, you and the other person are perpetually in conflict with one another due to your life, your upbringing, due to your like life experiences, okay? It's like a person battling a tree. So, you know, they're different species, and more than anything, I do feel that they will never see eye to eye on anything. So this is, you know, it's a wasted wasted time, wasted effort. So it's in the past position. So I do feel that a lot of this has ceased. Moving in for you is the Eight of Cups, and it's in the reverse position. So I do feel a lot of you are going back or being reeled back in or being lured back by that other person, that troublesome energy, for round two. So you're like, it ended and you're just like, okay, I'm waiting for this resolution. I'm waiting for the justice system to take over, or I'm waiting for, you know, that day of reckoning in which this whole situation is going to be resolved. And I do feel you are reeled back in for another round. And as for what's crowning you here is the Ace of Wands, which is in the reverse position. So it does indicate to me that, you know, at this point, you're not even like surprised, you're not even upset that the other person would go out of their way to kind of engage you in conflict again. And you're not going to succumb to it. I do feel a lot of you, depending on whether or not, you know, I do feel that the same energy is coming up here as for the July reading. So you're being reeled back in, and whatever approach you decide to take, I do hope you implement the advice that I gave you, which is that, you know, agree to disagree and don't bring up touchy topics, okay? So I hope you are able to keep that in mind when you re-engage in this situation, because I do sense here that there's a little bit of a change here, a shift. So the Ace of Wands is in the reverse position, which indicates to me that you are going to approach this with a little bit more of a controlled manner. Either that or the other party is going to engage with you in the spirit of compromise, okay? So the Ace of Wands is a good card to get upright, but I do feel that it is a little bit forceful. it is a little bit forceful. So reverse, it can be a situation in which both parties can compromise. I mean, begrudgingly, because it's going to be difficult. But at the heart of it, we have justice, which is the balancing act, okay, which is like the cosmic scale. So it's at this point, I feel like enough's enough from both parties. You know, I get this main theme, which is that let's work together to arrive at higher truths, is what I'm getting here. And in the spirit of compromise, let's just suppress both of our egos in order to arrive at a better solution, is what I'm sensing here. So there is an element of compromise coming through, not just from you, but also from the other party. Um, and I do feel that, you know, please take the advice that I told you about in the monthly reading, because I feel that that message came through very, very strongly for a reason. And once again, we are indicating like conflict, round two, you know. So if the past approach hasn't worked, it is time to try something new, which is that, you know, acknowledge that you don't get along and proceed forward, okay? So in terms of what's in your environment that you're not aware of, once again, this is going back to a previous situation. This is like the death card in the reverse position, which is, you know, going back and giving it one last try before you scrap it, and before you can like have new beginnings, okay? So somebody is going back to something in this situation, and it could be potentially like a previous conflict or a conflictual situation with another person. For a lot of you, it might be court related. It might be, you know, just yeah, it might be court related here. And as for the advice here, we have the Two of Wands. So once again, this is, you know, like the planning stages are not finished yet. You're not ready to embark on a new phase in your life yet because of this perpetual conflict. So there has to be a way to address this situation in order for you to like have a better outcome. Okay, so I want all of you to like if you can, just, you know, give it one last go, okay? Especially if it's related to a family member, because I do feel at this point there's no harm in it. You have a different approach in this situation, so hopefully, you know, that advice helps some of you out. In terms of your external environment, we have the Ace of Cups here. I do feel there is a great deal of love involved in this situation, like if it's work, if it's family, if it's friendships, or, you know, just relationship. If it's a work situation and you're thinking about going back to it, I do feel that it was very emotionally fulfilling for you, okay? Or you rather like the coworkers or the friendships that you've established there. If it's with like an interpersonal relationship, there is a great deal of love involved in this situation as well. You all care about each other a lot, and that's why, like, despite the conflict, you're still going back, mainly because you really want to fix things. And it's great actually that you are, you know, kind of like you're trying to fight for the things that matter to you. So just make sure the other person is giving you like that much of a fight as well, okay? For just make sure the other person is willing to put in the same amount of effort. I do feel that more than anything, at the heart of it, I'm getting here that it's like there's a lot of love, there's a lot of raw feelings involved, there's a lot of passion. So it's hard to extract yourself, and it's hard for you to be objective and to like not lose your temper. But for this week, the temper, the ego is will both be suppressed in order for you to like approach this situation in a more calm manner, so that you can arrive at whatever truths it is that you are seeking, okay? So if you have like broken up with somebody over like a huge fight, regardless of what the fight is about, and you want to go back just to get answers, just to get closure, I do sense that it would be self-defeating if you approach this with anger, okay? So try to, if you are not trying to rekindle, you just want closure, you just want some answers, approaching the other person in an aggressive manner is not going to get the outcome that you want. So try to be calm and collected about this and discuss this situation like adults, so that you both can like, so that there can be communication and discourse, okay? And then once you arrive at that information, you're going to be able to move on for good. And you're going to be okay, and you're going to feel at peace. All right. What I mentioned earlier, so your hopes and fears here is that you have the wish card in the reverse position. So you're hoping that you will get the answers that you want, and the main overriding fear, which is going to like trump all the hopes, is that you're going to lose your temper. That's what you're fearing. Like the other person might be evasive and might not give you, the answers that you're seeking. In this situation, I do feel that the other person, if it is truth that you're seeking, so for example, if you have been arguing with a partner over infidelity from their end, and then you've broken up, and now they want to like have a talk with you about what happened, and you're thinking that like, okay, they're going to deny it. I do sense here, because of this card, the high priestess, just know that, as an air signs in general are all about finding out the truth, okay? Even though the truth is going to be hurtful, as indicated by this Three of Swords, even though the truth is hurtful, in the long run, in the greater scheme of things, you're just going to be happy that you have the truth unfiltered so that you can move forward with your life, okay? And at the same time, we have the Four of Cups, which is like, wow, this is not something I intended, but now I know. So it's like gifts of truth offered to you from the universe. And what you decide to do with that is something that you're still going to mull over for this week. I feel that a lot of you are just like, are just taken back by the truths that come out and how unfiltered they are, and it's just like a little bit more than you anticipated, okay? But either way, you are a truth seeker, so don't be afraid of the truth. I do feel it is going to come in for you, so be mentally and emotionally prepared, okay? And additionally, we have the moon here in the upright position. So I'm getting here that the other party is going to be evasive. So please don't lose your cool. If it is answers that you need in order to have the closure that you need to move on, please don't lose your cool. I feel like initially that same type of conflict is going to start emerging. So you have to rein in your feelings, and you have to like take a deep breath and just, suppress the rage, Gemini, suppress the rage. So in order to do this, you're going to figure out, you can read body language as well too. So because they're denying it, I do feel that a lot, that's going to speak louder than words, okay? For this week, one of the thing is that if there is a person from your past that you've completely scrapped out of your life, and they don't really deserve the time of day, for example, if that is a situation, then just leave it alone altogether. Okay, because once you go digging for answers, you are going to find them. And I do feel that the unfiltered truth will come out for this week, okay? For good or for bad, but a lot of you feel like you need it in order to move forward. A lot of you like might need it very badly in order to like resume your life, in order to like let you know that like, okay, I'm not losing my mind. It actually did happen. Like you want the answers, you want that closure, and you want to close that chapter for good, I feel, for a lot of you. So if it's somebody that you don't really care about anymore, just don't even give them the time of day, okay? But if it's like a family type of situation, or somebody that you can't be without, and use that with discretion. I don't like saying that sentence, mainly because a lot of people like misinterpret it, and they feel that a liar or a cheat is somebody that they can't live without. So just use your discretion. If you don't need the truth because you've already moved on, please leave it alone. Otherwise, it is going to be like more than you bargained for. However, if it's like something that you feel you definitely need, no matter how painful it is, and curiosity has gotten the best of you, I feel that Geminis in general, you have to find out the truth. You have to get to the heart of the matter. So if that's something that you want, just be prepared, okay? It is going to make quite an impact. So prep yourself emotionally and mentally, and I do hope that you find the answers that you're looking for. So I wish you the best for this week. Please keep me posted. I am very curious about this situation. So I'll see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Take it easy, Geminis.